Alright.
Alright, so there's this man who takes morning walks. And on these morning walks, he likes to walk through the woods, through the forest, through this path. He's walked many times, enough times to create a little walkway for himself through the dirt. And he absolutely loves walking through the forest at times when butterflies are hatching from their cocoons and from their pupas and whatnot. And so, at one point, he's walking through the forest and he sees the cocoon of a big butterfly he knows should come out of it. And so he sees it one day, along with all the other cocoons that are spread upon the tree. And he sees the other butterflies coming out, but he sees this one kind of still. And so the next day he's walking his walk as usual, and he sees that other butterflies have already pulled out and just kind of sitting there glistening under the sun and whatnot. But he sees that this one cocoon still hasn't let out the butterfly. And so next day he walks through there and he sees that the cocoon is open. There's that little hole in its back, but the butterfly isn't coming out. And so what he does is he takes his knife and ever so delicately and gently he opens up that slit on the back of the cocoon that will help the butterfly come out. And so he cuts it just a little bit. The next day he sees it coming out just a little bit more. But he's still afraid for it because all the other butterflies have already hatched and moved on and flown away. But this one is struggling. So he decides to cut it a little bit more to help it out. And so next day he comes around and what he sees the butterfly outside of its cocoon, but its body's deformed because it hasn't had all of the fluids in it squeezed out as if it was going through that small hole he initially saw. He sees that the wings are kind of misformed and not going to be able to let him fly. And so it was at this point in time that he realized that butterfly had to struggle through that time when there was just a little slit in order to squeeze all of that water out of its body, in order to prepare its wings to make them strong enough to fly. And so that's a story that I normally kind of think about when someone's going through a tough time. Sometimes, not all times, but sometimes you have to let someone go through that struggle on their own so that they can become that butterfly that can actually fly away instead of pass away on the branch of a tree.